Sometimes you just need a 2-hour, 6-match card to restore a bit of the feeling. I'm John Renton with my review WWE NXT Heatwave 2025 from the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts. They've run there before. I believe that was the same venue where Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor for the NXT Championship a lifetime ago. My God, that was so long ago. That being said, a really cool venue, really intimate atmosphere, and as somebody that's kept up on a few things from NXT as far as clips and just seeing the YouTube vids, I decided to check this out. Yes, I'm a day late, and some of this was a bit of a booking short. I'm just going to blame Shawn Michaels' bad eye, but there was some good stuff on the show that I wanted to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show first. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And also, I do want to say, in regards to future NXT reviews, because WWE is going to ESPN, for the interim, anything that is on Peacock, that is, I will do my best to review. I'll do, like, as far as Saturday Night's Main Event, as far as NXT specials. I'm not going to review NXT weekly. I'm not going to review the WWE programs weekly. I'm probably going to ease back on some weekly AEW stuff. But I figured, why not talk about this? And I'm glad I watched this, even with the things I didn't like. So, one thing I didn't like was Booker T's commentary. But I've learned to kind of tune it out because Vic Joseph is the only real commentator they have. And Corey was on assignment for Raw because they were in Birmingham. And as I'm recording this, it's Monday afternoon/evening. And I will get to a Raw review because I'm going to give you a double dosage of fun because why not? That's just the kind of giving person I am. Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Lola Vice in a three-way number one contenders match. Kalani's family was in the front row, so I knew she wasn't going to win. So, I will say this, I don't really get it with Lola. I mean, okay, I get why people like her. I don't think she's particularly good. I don't think she's bad. Jada, I hate to say it, it's probably about her peak. That match with Roxanne, I think, was the peak of her power. She's decent enough when you can hide her shortcomings in a match like this. It's fine. I will say this is the best Kalani has looked in a while. Kalani also keeps changing her hair and changing her look, and I'm not sure if she's supposed to be a face or a heel or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The crowd was up already. We got the double ass bump by Jada Parker. This was a great way to start off the show. We got an X Factor variation DDT. We got a splash, out of, or onto, Lola and Jada as Jada was in an armbar. Fortunately, Lola let go of it, or otherwise I could have snapped the arm. A corkscrew dive outside by Kalani got a big pop. Lola Vice does her butt bump because really, what else is there to focus on with Lola Vice as far as in-ring talent? I mean, she can hit the kicks. Congratulations. We got a Tower of Doom. We got some back and forth stuff. We got 450 that was short intentionally, but it looked a little awkward. Not the only awkward splash we would get tonight. And we got to roll through into a choke. And then Jada ended up getting rolled up 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. It was a bit surprised that Kalani didn't take the pin. But Kalani versus JC Jane at some point, I'm not against that. I guarantee Lola Vice ain't beating JC. But there we go. Spears' group, I believe, called the Culling. I'm about to call somebody else, up and say, hey, could we call together a group that isn't shit? I'm not even talking about the people in particular. It's just these dark, spoopy groups just do nothing for me. Tatum, she's there. I don't remember who the blonde is, but there you go. Is she the one that's injured? Or was that the one that was in the Italian group? Nevertheless, Dark State members, Dion Lennox, and Osiris, who is about as bad as the Osiris movie that I saw a little bit earlier. I think either earlier this month or late last month. Forget what. They took on Hank and Tank, a.k.a. Discount Public Enemy 2.0. This is what's happened to the NXT Tag Division. Temu Shield, Dark State's terrible. Terrible. There was a Bubba Slam, actually a pretty nice Bubba Slam at one point. And then we got more number game things, which, I'm sorry, this Dark State stuff's bullshit. It's just, it's four guys who, bless them, are trying. But it's like a bad version of the Nexus. It's like Nexus, but without the potential for anything to work in this. But they did a nice doomsday device, so we'll say that. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions. Again, this is what has happened to the tag division. So, Lexis King apparently blinded Miles Osborne at one point. Miles Osborne, in addition to being partly deaf, is now blind. So, okay, he has Stephanie Vacour, though. Good on him, and I wish them both nothing but the best. Lexis King, the best thing he did was, be in that feud with MJF when he was Brian Pillman Jr. I'm sorry, this ain't working with him. No Mercy's on the 27th, and I believe Halloween Havoc is on the 25th of October, which I'll watch those, why not? I don't know who this New York City knockoff motherfucker is that's introducing Ash by Elegance, because I don't watch TNA, the feeder system to WWE now. I am curious who the tall blonde is next to, or with Ash. I don't know who the other one is. I assume they're the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. They're the Elegance brand. But JC Jane with Fallon and Jasmine, who, bless Jasmine, she tries. She really tries. When she tries, it doesn't work, but she tries. And Masha Slamovich, which I just keep wanting to call Marsha Slamovich. Masha. Machinations. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't call her that. But those two took on, they were also joined by Ash by Elegance, a.k.a. the former Dana Brooke. So Dana Brooke is released from WWE after being with the company for 10, 11 years, however it was. She goes to TNA to sort of reinvent herself. And now TNA is working with WWE because you probably got somebody that's a former Endeavor executive that's going to buy TNA and do God knows what. But I'm sorry this was messy at first. I mean, I like JC. Do not get me wrong. I think JC well deserved this reign before she got it. She's a double champion, by the way. It's a TNA Knockouts Championship match because JC had won the championship. I believe it's Slammiversary, if I remember right. And Masha's impressive as far as her power and everything, and she dove on all three of them. She can do some stuff. I don't know if she would necessarily work long-term in WWE, but if she made appearances like this, and she's got a good ground game also, what I've seen. Ash sold a lot because, look, bless her, I know Dana tries. I know she's trained hard, and she's been through a lot of stuff. It's terrible, the shit that she went through, the personal stuff she went through. I respect the fact she's sticking with this. But this would be like me on the International Space Station. It's a fish out of water. She's not that good. She's not that good. At one point, one guy, basically people got, kicked out. It was fatal influence because Jasmine inadvertently fisted somebody while the referee saw. But it's no DQ in a three-way. More near falls. We get, it's just, the Elegance brand gets JC and throws her out, including that statuesque blonde who has to be like 6 feet tall. Like, seriously, she's really fucking tall. And then Dana Elegance hits the swanton, or at least hits in quotations, because I think she could have hit somebody in the first row way far away and somehow managed to hit Masha somehow a lot better. But yeah, she got the victory, so now the new TNA Knockouts champion is Ash by Dana Elegance. Yay! I mean, for what reason? This is what you did. Why did you give JC the double title, moniker if this is what you were going to do? I'm not saying she needed to hold it for like 4 or 5 goddamn months, but she's had it for 6 weeks? Maybe? And Dana? I know that their Knockouts roster is gutted. But Jesus Christ, I thought, freaking Velvet and Angelina Love competing for the title back years ago was a bad thing. Jesus. Bless her again, but my God, this is terrible. That being said, Ricky Starks Saints is talking to Javon and says, hey, you can beat Oba, but regardless, I got next. That's pretty much the crux of it. And then Blake Mariah Monroe took on Jordynne Grace. Okay, I'm just going to say right now, one thing I noticed about this show was the overdone red lipstick. I mean, it was bright. And on some it worked. On others, it really made them look like I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if it was the lighting. I don't know if it was a shade. I don't know if it was just the brand. I don't know. But something was just very off-putting about some of this stuff. That being said, this is all about Jordynne showing Blake what ugly is really like, or what ugly can do, or look what you made me do. We were like one step away from a Piggy James situation here. Alright. I'm not sure about Blake Mariah Monroe's WWE moniker. And not even moniker, just her presentation. If she's happy with it and she's getting shit pot full of money, this is her dream. I wish her nothing but the best, but she was used better than AEW. She's only been there for a few months, but still, people say it's like a Sabrina Carpenter thing. Fun fact, I forgot that I saw Sabrina Carpenter in a movie, not that kind of movie, I run a clean show, called Emergency. I forgot she was in that, because that shows just how little her acting ability impacted me. She is a big star, and people like her. I don't get it, but I also don't get this Blake Mariah Monroe thing. I hope that Grace is all right, because there was one point where she did a kip up outside, and I thought that she stumbled around a bit trying to recover. Hope she's all right, because I was worried she tweaked her knee. And I also hope that Jonathan Gresham is all right, because apparently he suffered a stroke or two, something, while he just got over a bout with COVID. So that's terrible. I just hope he recovers in general. So basically, Blake Monroe targets the shoulder, the weak point for massive damage, and basically targets Jordynne's arm. Bang, bang, bang. Take away the power. And I think Jordynne's good. I don't think that Jordynne is going to stand out much in this talent pool. Julia's been totally nullified on SmackDown. Even though I like the association with Kiana James, you have Stephanie Vacour, who was left off the Clash in Paris card that I just found out about. And you just have all these women that are infinitely better and more charismatic than Jordynne. And yes, Jordynne has gotten in better shape. She's done a lot of stuff and a lot of training. Supplements is what I'm saying, kids. Don't take supplements, or otherwise you'll end up with a deeper voice than me. And that's a little bit weird. But she hit some good power moves here, but kept selling the shoulder. We got headbutts. We got a flash knee strike. A powerbomb off the top for 2. Mariah Monroe Blake got folded up correctly. And then we got an exposed buckle spot where we got a stomp and a DDT. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Blake Mariah Monroe got the victory. And Jordynne has an out because there was an exposed buckle spot. That's okay. Sarah's with Fatal Influence, and Jesus, that's a lot of red, and that is a lot of yeah. Jasmine was also there. I feel bad for saying that because I'm sure she's nice, but Jasmine just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like she's just the little sister, or you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of the one, she reminds me of Rumor Willis from Sorority Row. She just didn't fit the group at all. That's like a deep cut to like a few people that our horror fans will get. So, Jasmine gets yelled at because JC's upset. She's no longer a double champion. Lola comes in, asks if there's a problem. And then Sol Ruka and Zarya is... That's a lot of yeah in that segment. And, man... Yeah, I know stuff was said. 6-woman tag coming out of that, by the way. Tavian Heights and Tyra May Steele, who apparently won that LFG show, the women's side, and is a legit Olympic gold medalist. So they took on Ethan Page and Chelsea Green with the Secret Harvest, and Jesus Christ, you would have thought that any time Tyra breathed hard, she was sacrificing, their favorite pets in front of them. This Lowell crowd channeled the Baltimore crowd at the Great American Bash 89. It was the dynamic dudes against the skyscrapers. Anytime Sid was in the ring, they cheered him. Anytime Sid was outside the ring, they were cheering for Sid. Anytime Chelsea was in the ring, they cheered her like she was a god. Anytime she was out of the ring, they wanted Chelsea. Nothing against Ethan, except he's Ethan Page. And Tavian Heights, I believe, is the one that was in Noah for a little bit sometime last November. He's got hops, and this did no favors for Tyra, who has, as far as moves, as far as being able to execute stuff, seems to get it. I didn't watch the LFG show, mainly because I think it's bullshit. I don't think the contestants necessarily are bullshit. I just am tired of the Tough Enough stuff. But, man, they just cheered Chelsea like mad. That was the best part of this fucking show. Anytime she touched anybody, they cheered. Anytime she got the advantage. There was a nice German spot after Alba got in, and Alba got held by Ethan and thrown, so he threw her in the fallaway slam while he got German by Tyra May Steele. And then, while we get a distraction and everything, after Tyra got the ankle lock on Ethan, we got Alba with the super kick, the unpretty her, which they roared when that 3 count hit. That crowd was up for everything there. So that was the best part of the goddamn show as far as the crowd reactions go. And then Josh Briggs is not around the women's locker room because allegedly he is a naughty individual. He talks to Oba and says, "Hey, Javon's going to win. The grind is burning you out." Josh Briggs, noted singles championship winner in NXT. So anyway, where is Bull Buchanan's son? Whatever the fuck his name is. God damn it. Briggs and Jensen. Brooks Jensen. Where the hell's he at? So anyway, the speed titles are coming to NXT. Meaning we're going to see if Soul can finish off women in 3 minutes. I wouldn't even need half that. For most. Moving on. Moving on. Forget it. Scratch that. Can't edit it out. Nah, Soul Ruka though. Soul and Zarya actually are a pretty good duo. What was a good clash to close the show was Obafemi against Javon Evans, who apparently is bound determined to die by the age of 25. Or be crippled by the age of 30. I'm not sure which. NXT title match, and look, it was size versus speed. Anytime Javon could hit and move, he was able to target Oba well. Anytime Oba was able to stop him, he was able to overwhelm him. And I shockingly liked the finish, even though I know there were people that were shitting on it. They've got something with Oba. They really fucking do. He needs a big showing in the 2026 Rumble. Assuming I even watch it. Because I'm kind of reticent to doing the ESPN thing. But Javon got sent into the corner really hard. Ouch. And he did hit one splash that kind of didn't connect because he was way too far and he jammed his knee, or maybe he was just selling it. He did hit another splash a little bit later that looked really good. And he got a German on, somebody was in Austria during the war. But Oba no-sold it, hit a lariat, and then we got a little bit back and forth. And then we got some nice near falls here, but a ref bump, and then we got, a top rope run. We got one cutter, and then we got the super cutter. 1, 2, foot under the rope with the second ref. 3, other ref is up and waving it off and everything. The crowd's chanting, "Ref, you suck." That was a perfect way to do it. You gave it so Oba's beatable, but Javon just couldn't quite get the job done. Match gets restarted and goes for another, and boom, just it's clobbering him. And Oba then sent him just tossed him right through the goddamn announcer's table. Javon, why? Why? I mean, it looks cool, but why? And then a fall from grace back in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you gave it a little tease of Javon being able to beat him. Oba ends up winning because his foot was under the rope. So he wins. Javon's out of the picture for now. Not for long, though. And Ricky St. Starks shows up and talks to Oba and everything. And okay, I'm foreseeing that at No Mercy, which I assume is where we'll see it. That'll be the next NXT review I do. If these get dropped from Peacock, when the Peacock deal runs out in early 2026, then who knows? Who knows what I'll end up doing? But I think they will end up actually still being on there because I want to say CW's under the NBC Universal umbrella, but I don't know for certain. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed this. I had fun with it, except for Timu Shield win and Dana Brooke winning a title. She had to go to TNA, reinvent herself, and then win a title when when TNA became a feeder system. You can't make this shit up, folks. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rittland. Until we heatwave again, happy trails to you.